When it comes to American English, just like making some tiny little changes to how you speak can have some pretty dramatic impacts on what your listener experiences. And so today I'm going to show you just a couple of little things that I want to highlight for you so that way you can start targeting it in your own speech and see if you can start applying it as well. And if it works for you, then you can always keep us posted on the results. Good morning, guys. Good evening. Good afternoon. Welcome to your daily American English pronunciation show, which is Wake Up American. We are here Monday through Friday, typically between the hours of 7 to 8 a.m., to make sure that you can get in your 10 minutes of pronunciation practice for today. And to guide you in this process, there is me. Hello, my name is Jeff. It rhymes with breath. That's one of the four keys to a natural sound in American English pronunciation, including placement, pitch, breath, and trying to weaken your consonant sounds in order to strengthen your vowel sounds. Now, we're going to be taking a look at a couple different components that, again, aren't necessarily really dramatic changes, but ones that I think will have pretty big effects on how you sound to others. And here are going to be some example sentences that we're going to work with. The first thing I want to take a look at is listing, because I think one of the things that we're often taught with lists is that, okay, when you have a list, you want to use lots of rising intonation. So you're doing things like I brought cake, pie, and cookies. So rise, rise, fall, right? I brought cake, pie, and cookies. And one of the things that you may do as well is because you're kind of linking things together during this list and you're not done talking, you may find yourself kind of dragging each of these words like cake, pie, cookies, right? But lists don't necessarily have to function that way. There's other ways you could do lists. So, for instance, instead of using the rising intonation, maybe like some falling intonation, like I brought cake, pie, and cookies. I brought cake, pie, and cookies. Cake, pie, cookies. Cake, pie, cookies. I brought cake, pie, cookies. Compare that. Cake, pie, cookies. Cake, pie, cookies. Hear the difference there? Um, the other thing, again, instead of dragging on everything, it's like cake, pie, cookies, you can cut a little bit. It's like I brought cake, pie, cookies. Um, and that's in general something that just working with students that I see a lot is I think in general, people who have learned English are more likely to drag. There is a tendency to really extend versus pronounce things a little bit faster and smoother. Hello to Emmanuel. Um, so like you can probably hear the difference even in just energy level when I say I brought cake, pie, and cookies versus I brought cake, pie, and cookies. Like so notice that. And honestly, we could probably even cut a little bit more. I brought cake, pie, and cookies. And you can probably hear the energy levels a little bit different. When we drag, we tend to lose a lot of the energy of the thing that we're saying. Versus when we cut more, it keeps things feeling a little bit more energized, a little bit sharper. Um, and I think those are important characteristics of communication. I think a lot of times we're not considering the energy level of the things we're saying, so we want to try to kind of keep that back of mind as we're communicating. The next thing that I wanted to highlight is what we do right before stressed words. And that's in fact what these last two sentences are about. And again, our whole focus of the stream day is just talk about some tiny changes. So the first change is kind of just thinking about not dragging as much and playing around with intonation a little bit more. The other thing I want to talk about is, again, right before a stress word, and we've talked about this previously, but right before a stress, really trying to weaken and reduce whatever comes before our stress. So, for instance, if we have this sentence here, like, knock it off before I get mad, knock it off before I get mad, that's fine. There's nothing wrong in saying it that way. But see if you can hear a difference between knock it off before I get mad and knock it off before I get mad. Knock it off before I get mad. Do you hear the difference? Knock it off before I get mad. Knock it off before I get mad. Okay, do you hear that little difference? So if we stress the word mad, hello to Enrique. We haven't seen you in a while. Good to see you back. Our friend from Perth. Um, it's about this get. So if we're stressing the word mad and we have this get before it, one of the things that you'll often hear native speakers do is go super weak and reduced on that word right before it. So instead of saying I get mad, it becomes more like I get mad. I get mad. I get mad. I get mad. Knock it off before I get mad. Knock it off before I get mad. Do you hear the little difference there? So what's happening is we're going lower in pitch on get. We're extremely shortening it. I get mad. I get mad. I get mad. You barely hear it. Okay. And one of the things is that, again, we mentioned how English is stress timed. And the reason this works is because English is stress timed. So, like, if I say, like, before, mad, those are kind of the highlights of that thought group there. Before, mad, in terms of your content words. So, remember, because I'm stress timed, even as I add more words, I take the same amount of time. It's like before I get mad, before, mad, before I get mad. So in this way, with these reductions and things, I'm able to keep the same, basically fit everything into the same box. So again, right before stressed words, these could be opportunities to go even lower in pitch and to go even faster in speed and to go even weaker in sound. Enrique is saying, "I missed your channel." Oh my God, this is a very sad story right here. I missed your channel. I went on my holiday. I didn't watch your channel for a while. I feel guilty. We're just happy you came back. It's like the case of the prodigal son. Good to see you, Enrique. I wanted to give one more example of that sort of reduction before stressed words. Um, Take a moment to see how would you say this sentence if we're thinking about, you know, not dragging, if we're thinking about the lower, weaker pitch right before a stressed word. It's like, I saw they had more at the store. Let's imagine we're stressing the store. I saw they had more at the store. Okay. So let's begin with just kind of looking at, again, the word right before store is the. So instead of saying at the store, what if we make the lower in pitch and we say it faster and make it weaker? So at the store could become at the store, at the store. And maybe if you watch a lot of movies or shows and things like that, that might be a reduction that you may have heard before, right? At the store, at the store. So instead of saying at the store, at the store, at the store. And notice too that as we do these weaker forms, we're also getting back to what we mentioned earlier about cutting, right? When we said about the list, we don't have to say I brought cake, pie, and cookies. We can say I brought cake, pie, and cookies. So not dragging. Same idea here. Instead of more at the store, it becomes more at the store. At the store. Instead of more at the store, it becomes more at the store. I saw they had more at the store. I saw they had more at the store. I saw they had more at the store. And by doing, again, this sort of cutting, and by doing this drop in pitch and weakening before your stress words, this is where we can start getting into those reductions and things like that that you commonly hear native speakers using in their speech. Okay? So let's say all these sentences one more time. We're going to do them dragged and without that dramatic shift in pitch before the stress word. Okay? And then we'll apply everything again. So I brought cake, pie, and cookies. I brought cake, pie, and cookies. You can see pie and cookies, right? So instead of pie and cookies, more pie and cookies. See how weak the and gets. The next thought group. So again, we're going to drag a little bit, and we're not going to adjust the word before the stress word. It's like knock it off before I get mad. And now let's cut and adjust the word before the stress. Knock it off before I get mad. Before I get mad. Okay. And same idea with the last one as well. I saw they had more at the store. I saw they had more at the store. I saw they had more at the store. Okay. Practice those things, guys. Let me know how it goes. And hey, thanks for hanging out with me on this Friday and in general. You know, there's a lot of pronunciation resources out there. So the fact that you spending some time with me working on your pronunciation is greatly, greatly appreciated. I will see you all later. Hope you have a good weekend. We'll catch you Monday. Enrique, we'll catch you Monday, right? Maybe. Possibly. I'll see you guys later. Hope you guys have a good day. Have a good night and a good afternoon. Take care, guys.